Good evening. It is July 18th, Monday evening here at City Hall, City Council Chambers, 7 p.m. for the regular meeting of the City Council. Officially call the meeting to order and entertain the roll call.
Beaufore.
Here.
Birgen.
Here.
Drenkow.
Here.
Meyers.
Here.
Kangas.
Present.
Schneider.
Here.
And Rathe is absent.
Thank you. And also our guest council member, Mr. Justin Shook, is joining us again. So welcome back. Moving to item C, the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. On to Section D, the approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Beaufore. Council discussion. Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Agenda is approved. Section E is a public hearing. Item number 1. This is the date, time, and place for a public hearing on Ordinance 1107, an ordinance amending Chapter 59, cable television franchise of the Waverly Municipal Code. Carly, have you received any written or oral comments?
I have not, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Any public comments from anybody that has joined us this evening? Seeing nobody rise, we'll move to go ahead and close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of the second reading of Ordinance 1107 and Ordinance amending Chapter 59, cable television franchise of the Waverly Municipal Code.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Birgen. Council discussion? Hearing none, roll call, clerk.
Schneider.
Yes.
Meyers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Beaufore.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent. The second reading of Ordinance 1107 is approved. Item 1A is to approve to suspend the rules and move directly to the third and final reading of Ordinance 1107.
I'll move approval of suspending the rules and moving directly to the third and final reading for Ordinance 1107.
Second.
Motion by Meyers, second by Drenkow. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion is approved. Item 1B is the third and final reading of Ordinance 1107, an ordinance amending Chapter 59, cable television franchise of the Waverly Municipal Code. Entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve third and final reading of Ordinance 1107, an ordinance amending Chapter 59, cable television franchise of the Waverly Municipal Code.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Birgen. Council discussion. Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Meyers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Beaufore.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
A vote of 6-0 and 1 absent. The third and final reading of Ordinance 1107 is approved. Next up on the agenda is a proclamation for National Night Out. I will read the proclamation. National Night Out, whereas the National Association of Town Watch are sponsoring a unique nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program on August 9th, 2022, entitled National Night Out, and whereas the 39th Annual National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the city of Waverly to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts, and whereas the citizens of Waverly play a vital role in assisting the Waverly Police Department to control crime, drug, and violence in the city of Waverly, and this partnership is an important goal of the National Night Out 2022, and whereas it is essential that all citizens of Waverly be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and impact that their participation can have on reducing crime, drug, and violence in the city of Waverly, and whereas police community partnership, neighborhood safety, awareness, and cooperation are important themes for the National Night Out program. Now therefore, I, Mayor Adam P. Hoffman, and the City Council do hereby call upon all citizens of Waverly to join the Waverly Police Department and the National Association of Town Watch in supporting the 39th Annual National Night Out on August 9th, 2022. Further, let it be resolved that I, Mayor Adam P. Hoffman, and the City Council do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 9th, 2022 as National Night Out in the city of Waverly. Entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve proclamation proclaiming August 9th, 2022 as National Night Out.
Second?
Motion by Kangas, second by Beaufort. Council discussion? Anything from any staff? We'll get more information later, I'm sure. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Moving to Section G, public comments for items not on the agenda. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the presiding officer. All remarks shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any individual member. Anybody joining us for public comments? Step forward and state your name.
My name is Darwin Ritkers. I'm one of the co-chairs for Waverly Heritage Days, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to give you an update from the weekend. It's a pleasure to come when everything went right. It was a terrific weekend, I mean, beginning to end. You know, when we started on Thursday with a barbecue at one of the car dealerships right up to New Horizons. Everything went really smooth as we went along. We, as a committee, promised to have things that had never been seen before at Waverly Heritage Days, and I believe we were successful with that in a couple of different areas. Our car show was, I think, one of the better ones that we've ever had, even though we were competing with 5 other shows relatively close proximity here. We had 64 vehicles that were there. We represented, I believe, 7 different counties that had brought vehicles in and so forth. I hope you had an opportunity to visit a little bit of the fairgrounds. You were able to see a new stage, a new LED screen, things that we've never had before. We had one of the premier sound systems in the state of Iowa. It took us a long time to negotiate and get that, but it's something that originally they thought we were too small for their production. And after several conversations and negotiating a price, I told them that they would not be disappointed when they're here and see our people, that they would be pleasantly surprised, and they have offered already to return. So if we can negotiate a price with them again, we'll absolutely will do that. The community support this year has been fantastic. When they see some of the things that we've changed and doing again, I've already had people ask, well, how do I get my name on that screen? You know, so we have leads already, and we're going to be marketing that screen and marketing in other areas. The Hall of Fame, great attendance there. Couldn't be happier. If you were there and were able to see the Meskwaki Indian tribe that was here, this family that did their traditional song and dance, it went over extremely well. And afterwards, they made several comments about how much they appreciate the respect of the audience to them. And they are also interested in participating, you know, in the future. He said they don't go off the tribe much and do these sort of things. And when they have people come to them, most people know what they're about. But this is one of the few times that they went off tribe and came to a community and put the program on. And I think they were as scared to come and do this, but as it turned out, it was nearly perfect. And if you were there, their last performance was a community friendship dance that they actually invited everybody to come up in a huge circle, and they actually danced to the drums of that last event. I thought it was spectacular. We really had no incidences to speak of. It was relatively clean, quiet on the security side of it, which is great. Our beverage sales were way up. I'm sure we broke our attendance record for Saturday night. Previously, it was about 4,200. I'm guessing about 1,000 more than that. I've taken photos and we're trying to get a guesstimate. Obviously, we'll never be right on with that. But just a couple of stats. The pancake breakfast went over extremely well. They had 67 flights with 2 or 3 people in each flight. That was really a good number. And then they had served 857 meals. So that's, I think I was told that was the second highest that they've ever had. So just a great, great turnout, a great, great weekend. The city staff is second to none. Working with the leisure department, working with the street department, the police department, their people were there. I'm amazed it was that smooth. And we can only build on that. We got a lot of ideas. We want to change a few things up. But next year I also would like to do things that have never been seen here before. But it takes all year to plan. It takes the financing. But thank you to council, thanks to the city, the PD. We can make this work. And when you start having people come and say, how can I be involved? I think we're doing a little bit right. So thank you. If you have a question, I'll certainly be glad to answer that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate everything you've done yourself as well.
You bet.
So,
It was fun.
I'm Bart Steer, and we had a outdoor kids and family fun day in Coleman Park on June 4th. This was organized by Jim Slaba. I was on his committee, so I helped him quite a bit. The organizations that were involved were Jim's Sports Shop, Waverly Archery Club, Whitetails Unlimited, the Elk Federation, National Turkey Federation, Shell Rock Coon Dog Association, Three Rivers Isaac Walton League, which I'm a member and I'm vice president, and Bremer County Conservation Board, Iowa DNR, Crawdaddies Outdoors, Pheasants Forever, Impact Iowa, the Walleye Club out of Cedar Falls, Ducks Unlimited, and Johnson Financial. It was a very successful day, even though our weather wasn't great. It was misting and it was a little cold and windy. But we estimate, and it's hard to get a count, but we estimate between 200 to 250 kids and their parents. We were busy. Everything was free. We give everything away. And like the Isaac Walton League, we did the BB gun. It's a hut. It's got 2 lanes in it. We had lines backed up, and we had 2 adults there, and I was at the table because they had to sign waivers. Anyway, total success, we felt. We had a follow-up meeting, then a little negative came up, and our highest cost, you gotta understand, we did all of this for nothing. Ike's rented the BB gun thing from the Boy Scouts for $100. We give hot dogs away, we give chips away, we give water away, we give everything you can think of away, fishing poles, tackle. And the city charges us $25 for a permit, and then $297.95 for insurance, which we just found out about like a day or 2 before the event. So Jim had no choice, he just paid it. And that got a little negative up at our follow-up meeting. And we did this for the city of Waverly, and they're not happy. A lot of them want to go to Janesville. Janesville's invited us, Shell Rock's invited us. We got 14 acres, 1.5 miles north of town, we can go there. But other than that, it was a total success. Thank you for your time.
thank you, sir.
If you got any questions, just ask me.
Will do. Thank you, Bart.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right, move into Section H, the consent calendar. The following items will be acted upon by voice vote on a single motion without separate discussion unless someone from the council or public requests that a specific item be considered separately. Item 1, pay request from McClure Engineering Company for the Waverly Municipal Airport Taxiway Connector 2022 for the amount of $3,645. Item 2 is a pay request from MSA Professional Services Incorporated for the Waverly Comprehensive Plan Bike and Pedestrian Trail Plan and Park and Open Space Plan Project for the amount of $20,000. Item 3 is a pay request from Blacktop Service Company for the Bituminous Seal Coat Program 2022 for the amount of $124,836.37. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of the consent calendar as read by the mayor.
Second.
Motion by Birgen, second by Beaufore. Council discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section I, regular business, item number 1 is the Chamber of Commerce Main Street update. Let's see, we've got John and Travis joining us this evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, city staff. Thank you for having us this morning or this evening. My name is Travis Tolliver. I'm the executive director for your Waverly Chamber of Commerce and Main Street program, and I'm joined this evening by our 2022 board chair, Chris Knudsen, who would like to share a few words with you and then walk you through our organization's new strategic plan.
Great to be with you all. I'd like to start by just saying thank you for your partnership with the Chamber Main Street program. We could not do the things that we do without the support of the city, and we are so grateful for this partnership that we get to work together. Since I became the board chair in January, our board of directors has been hard at work on a 3 to 5 year strategic plan. This planning process was conducted using Main Street America's 4-point approach. And I think Travis sent you the strategic plan in your packets, I hope. I'll plan to go over that in a little bit. So our committees, we have a number of committees that are part of the Chamber Main Street program, and they right now, this month, are working on their updated action plans that are based on the new strategies that we've set forth in this strategic plan. So those will be additions that will be added to the strategic plan next month. The board of directors just approved the strategic plan at our last meeting, and so it's good timing to be able to share that with you now. 2 weeks ago, we had our annual site visit with Main Street, Iowa. Carol Lilly came and visited us, and I know she met with several folks from the city, which was wonderful. She commended our work on this strategic plan in particular and stated it was a model for other communities to follow. And if you would pull out your strategic plan, if you've got it on your screen somewhere, I'll just kind of walk you through some piece of it. And Travis, feel free to jump in at any point if you want to make any additional remarks. So the beginning of the strategic plan sort of gives you a little bit of a brief history of our organization. The Waverly Chamber and Main Street program has morphed and changed and had different titles and different makeups over its history. And so this gives you a little bit of a sense of where we've been since 1937. On page 2, this explains a little bit about our Main Street affiliations and some of the programs and services that are offered with our partnership through our Main Street Iowa connections. Like I said, the Main Street approach is a 4-point approach. Our committee structure at the Chamber Main Street program is actually based on this 4-point approach, but we also incorporate it in our entire strategic planning process because it really is a great framework for doing this kind of work. And a lot of communities have not taken the opportunity to really dig into that the way that we were able to over the last 6 months. So on page 3, you'll see sort of how the 4 points is applied as transformational strategies, so moving from where we are to where we want to be, utilizing those 4 points. And those 4 points are economic vitality, design, promotion, and organization. On the following page, that explains our new vision and our values. So our new vision statement that we have for the Chamber Main Street program is, together, we amplify and champion the unique qualities of Waverly to become a destination of choice. And so we do view all of our work as partnership with so many different areas within the community, the city obviously being a very important partner with us. And so that's why it starts with together, because we can't do these things alone. Our values are connection, loyalty, and communication. The next section is about our goals, objectives, and tactics. And I just want to lift up the three main goals that we have for you today. So our first goal that we'd like to accomplish is that we want to better tell the story of our Main Street, or our Chamber Main Street program. As most of you know, we are three entities under one roof. We are a Chamber of Commerce, we're a Main Street program, and we are a tourism bureau, all under one roof. And so we think that it's really important that we have all three of these areas represented when we talk about the Chamber Main Street program and be very intentional about that. The work of all of these areas, again, coming together, is what allows for the betterment of Waverly, especially our downtown. Our work is carried out by more than 80 volunteers and a small and dedicated professional staff. The second goal, if you turn actually, I guess it's a couple pages in. Our second goal is to ensure the long-term financial stability of our organization. We know that our success hinges or rests on our ability to listen and respond to the needs of our members and our downtown merchants. So as an example, one of the things that we did when we started this process in January, we held a retreat for the board. And part of that retreat, we had invited some downtown business owners to be part of a panel discussion with us. And that was so successful that we decided we are going to do that several times each year going forward. We felt that it really is a great way for us to hear directly from the business owners about what's going on with them, but also so that they can see the faces and the people that are behind the scenes making all these things happen at the Chamber Main Street and all the different events and things that they're a part of. And it also gives them the opportunity to be reminded of the services and the connections that they can take, that they can be a part of because of our partnership. Our third goal is to be a catalyst for creativity and innovation in preparing businesses for the Bremer Bridge project coming up. Ideas are already swirling and coming together related to wayfinding and events that will provide a fun and unique experience for our community and our visitors during this important construction project. So I don't want to go into a lot of detail with this strategic plan, but if you do get a chance, please read through it in more detail. If you want, it really gives you a sense of the inner workings of all the things that are going on. You can see the assignments for each committee, all that kind of thing. It really gives you a good amount of detail about our organization. At the end of the document are the committee action plans. So like I said, all of our committees right now this month are meeting and reprioritizing their working plans based on the strategies that we've put together in the strategic plan. So those will be added. But just as an example that we shared with our board 2 weeks ago, we put in the executive committee's first draft of our action plan, so that way they can see how to do that for their committees. So that gives you a sense of what we're working on, and there's a lot of detail in there. But we do view this as a living document. This is not something that's going to sit on a shelf. So every month when we're meeting, this document will be updated with new, as things progress with every action plan. Every month this document should be changing and as we move forward. So hopefully that gives you just a little bit of a sense of where we're going. Like I said, it's a 3 to 5 year strategic plan, so we are just chipping away at the beginning parts of it. A lot of things are ongoing, but there's a lot of new and exciting things coming as well. I guess thank you for the opportunity to share this with you. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Travis, and we'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. I'd had the latest publication of our membership directory handed out to you, so you have that in your hands. I always like to come bearing gifts, and so that's my gift to you this time. Hope that that's a resource for you and you can utilize that, but also tries to tell the story of our organization. It's kind of a showcase piece. We partner with the Courier on this publication so that it has a widespread audience. It reaches some 45,000 individuals and residences and businesses throughout the Cedar Valley, so we're spreading the news of Waverly as best as we can through that publishing house. At this time, I'd like to just go through the revised dashboard for 2022, which I sent you as well. So far, with the over 80 volunteers that Chris talked about, they've donated 485 hours, equating to about $14,500 worth of time value. New businesses, we have 7 new businesses in the second quarter. Our retention of business members is at 235. We have still 27 chamber champions who are individual investors in the Chamber of Commerce and Main Street program, and 48 engaged business visits throughout the second quarter. I've added a list of the completed events that we have thus far this year. We have Chamber Happy Hour that happens every last Thursday of the month. It's an evening networking event that we have from 4 to 6 at one of the many watering holes throughout our community. It changes every month. We completed 2 very successful Learn Over Lunch education events. We held our annual awards celebration. We hosted Senator Grassley for a Q&A, a spring retail event, art walk, the Ladies Night Out, our annual golf outing fundraiser, a second quarter Waverly Connected morning networking event, Ridiculous Days, which just happened a couple weekends ago, and of course we'll be wrapping up concerts in Coleman this Thursday, every Thursday, June and July, having the municipal band out in the park, and it's a wonderful event. If you haven't gone to it yet, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for attending many of those. We appreciate your support in that. This week will be our last one. Wartburg College will be sponsoring, so it's going to be Wartburg Night out at Coleman Park. So if you do come out, please wear your orange and black, and we'll be introducing President Nadusky to the community, which we're really excited about, as well as some other really awesome things that will happen at the end. So more to come on that, but just wanted to list those there as well so that you have an idea of the events that we've done thus far. And then the rest of the dashboard really represents what Chris just went over as far as the different goals and objectives that the Chamber Main Street program has. And you'll see there that some of these are in progress already, some of them are ongoing, and we will be filling in the committee goals and objectives as they bring those action plans back to us next month. And so when you see this document again, it'll have that information in addition as well. So is there any questions that Chris and I can answer for you at this time? We thank Julie for being our council liaison on our board. Appreciate your help. I just do want to mention and want to say that without the great partnership that we have with the city, we cannot do the great things that we do. So we truly appreciate all that you guys support us with, all the help that city staff gives us, leisure services and economic development. We've been partnering with those 2 departments for a very long time and have a lot of fruits of labor through certainly things like Art Walk and Concerts of Coleman. Thank you, Garrett, for your help with that. Bill, if he was here, I'd acknowledge him, and Connie as well, working with them on recruiting some new businesses to town. I can't share any more than that, but we've got a couple in the hopper that we're really excited about. So hopefully bringing some really new things to Waverly, and looking forward to seeing how our business community grows through that. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any questions I can answer for anybody? Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, gentlemen. Move on to item number 2 under regular business, resolution 22-99, a resolution approving a plat of survey for parcel O, P, and Q located in the Eastview 2nd Edition, Waverly, Iowa. Entertain a motion.
I would move approval of Resolution 2299, approving the plat of survey for parcel O, P, and Q located in the Eastview 2nd Edition, Waverly, Iowa, for Edward and Sandra White.
Second.
Moved by Kangas, second by Meyers. Council discussion, if any?
What it looks like is happening here, and maybe I can have someone just confirm this, is that the duplexes that were built there were actually built on the lot lines, and now we're just simply adjusting the lots so that the lots match where the buildings actually are.
I think that's a fair summary.
Okay.
Way to say it.
Anything further? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Kangas,
Yes.
Drenkow,
Yes.
Birgen,
Yes.
Beaufore,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Meyers.
Yes.
Vote is 6-0 and 1 absent. Resolution 22-99 is approved. Item number 3 is resolution 22-100, A resolution approving a preliminary and final plat for Cedar Square subdivision. Entertain a motion.
Well, I will move approval of Resolution 22-100, approving a preliminary plat for Cedar Square subdivision for VJ Engineering on behalf of the owners, Wavetown Properties LLC.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Birgen. Council discussion.
I just have one small question. I'm looking at the map that we're given on page 6 of our packets, and the overhead picture from Beacon Schneider Corp. On page 7. And it looks like one of the, so we have on page 7, the properties are outlined in yellow. And it looks like one of the properties is missing. So it looks like there's a Wavetown Properties that's just north of the yellows that should be included. Is that part of this as well?
That would be correct. It's part of lot line.
Okay. Okay, that's what it looked like. I just want to make sure I was reading that right. Thank you.
Any other questions? See Rad's wheels turning, but maybe not. All right. Hearing nothing further, roll call Carla.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Beaufore.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-100 is approved. Item number 3 is Resolution 22- I got that twice. I'm missing 4. I'll get it here. The third and final reading of Ordinance 1106, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of Waverly, Iowa by repealing Chapter 34 Hazard Mitigation and River Use Commission, Chapter 35 Personnel Board, and Chapter 48 Cable Television Commission. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of third and final reading of Ordinance 1106, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of Waverly, Iowa by repealing Chapter 34 Hazard Mitigation and River Use Commission, Chapter 35 Personnel Board, and Chapter 48 Cable Television Commission.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Birgen. Council discussion. Hearing none, roll call Carla.
Birgen.
Yes.
Beaufort.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, the third and final reading of Ordinance 1106 is approved. Move to item number 5 is the first reading of Ordinance 1108, an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of Waverly, Iowa, providing for rezoning of multiple City of Waverly properties to U1 environmentally sensitive and setting a public hearing. Entertain a motion.
I will move approval of the first reading of Ordinance 1108, an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of Waverly, Iowa, providing for rezoning of multiple City of Waverly properties to U-1 environmentally sensitive and setting August 8, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of City Hall as the date, time, and place for a public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Schneider. Council discussion.
Is that public hearing date is still okay even if we postpone the first meeting in
That's the
August?
postponed date.
That is a postponed date, yeah. I wasn't sure if we had to have a meeting in between when this was happening, so.
I would imagine if we don't approve number 9, then this will get wacky, but.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that we were checking all the boxes.
I think we're good.
Yes.
I just have a question for clarification. So we have voted on in the past on some of these, changing them to U1. How is this different from what we did in the past?
Similar process, different properties.
Okay.
In the past, it was truly down the Dry Run Creek, bordering it. I'll let Isaac expand that. These are just similar process.
Yeah, so as James said, previously we had approved properties that were in the Dry Run Creek area or surrounding. These are the rest of the FEMA flood buyout lots scattered throughout the community. They're all open spaces right now. They're required to be open spaces per FEMA requirements. So simply rezoning them to U1, it's just lining up with how they're currently used to how they're zoned.
So are are all of these properties still in the floodplain since the mitigation?
Some of them are not, some of them are, but like I said, they're all still FEMA flood buyout lots, so we're not allowed to put any development on them per FEMA regulations. So again, we're just lining the current use of either green space, some of them have the community gardens on them. Those are all uses allowed by FEMA, and then they'd also be uses allowed in our U1 zone. So we're just kind of lining up the two.
So, since they are FEMA buyout lots, they're not ever going to be eligible to be used for anything else, is that correct?
I'm not gonna say ever, for the time being at least. City staff, we've reached out to FEMA periodically about developing on them and removing that status. At this point, FEMA has been reluctant to let us do that. If that changes in the future, then we could look at ways to rezoning them back to the districts that they're in for development, but at this point, we don't see that FEMA's gonna let us do that anytime soon. So I'm not gonna say ever, but for the time being at least,
I
FEMA's
think
not
if
gonna
we
let us do
paid
that.
back FEMA,
Yeah,
which would make a $10,000 lot about a $150,000 lot. And then you want to put a house on top of it, you possibly could do that. It's just not feasible. Nobody's going to do that.
So it's kind of like, once there's a FEMA buyout there, it's pretty much locked into, it's not going to be used for anything else, even if it's technically not in the floodplain anymore.
I've gone to every senator that's come through in the last
Yeah.
7-8 years. Nobody can get a bill started through. It's just not happening. It's just not big enough to be something that they're concerned with.
I'll attest to that, in the conversation of housing, constantly comes up, and I've been involved in conversations with Ms. Finkenauer, Ms. Hinson, Mr. Grassley, and Ms. Ernst on their visits here to town, and always raise that question of how can we get these back into production, not only to get them back on the tax roll, but be good use of the property, but also provide housing. And like city administrator said, it's they don't have the support to move forward with it, so we're trying.
Thank you for that.
Sometimes we're told, well,
Yeah.
if there was a FEMA bill, we could add it to it, but then when there's a FEMA bill, well, it's not really big enough to add to it. So I feel like it's a moving target, we're just never gonna
Right.
get to the end of.
And
So your
it's-
best bet's to buy them out, which is astronomical for what they're worth, and then try and put a house on top of it, and it's just feasibly not possible.
Yeah, it's also, putting a blanket, type of legislation that would open those up. Some communities aren't like ours with the lots in particular, so we would be following the rules, and they're good lots to put back into production, but others, they don't want just free reign to redevelop. So,
And Isaac explained at planning and zoning, part of the reasons making sure we switch these to U1 is because people keep coming saying, I see this lot that's empty, that's a residential lot, is this available? Can I build something here? And this will allow them to be able to say, these are all
Yeah.
untouchable, basically.
Thank you.
So this looks like, this was round 2. Are we anticipating a third round? Are there any
I
other?
hope not.
Okay, good answer.
We sent out a lot of public notices for this one, so I hope not, so.
Okay,
We should do it.
I think we got all of them, so.
okay.
good deal. Anything further? Thank you for engaging in that clarification publicly. Roll call, Carla?
Beaufore.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 with one absent, the first reading of ordinance 1108 is approved. Item number 6 is the first reading of ordinance 1109, an ordinance amending chapter 105, traffic code, section 105.4.10, subsection 37, additional parking restrictions of the Waverly Municipal Code. Entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the first reading of ordinance 1109, an ordinance amending chapter 105, a traffic code, section 105.4.10, 37 additional parking restrictions of the Waverly Municipal Code.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Beaufort. Council discussion.
I think this will work. I like what's proposed here.
I also say I like that it's simple. It looks like something that's easily enforceable, so I hope it works.
I think some things to watch are some secondary effects maybe of how far traffic pushes out during, peak high school games and things like that, but this should hopefully take care of our issues there.
And I certainly think that, making sure the high school and administration is doing their part too, to try to alleviate some of this. It is a two-way street, and we all want to be good neighbors, so that is going to be very important, I think, this year when this is going on, when we first start this, that they cooperate and hold their students accountable and staff.
Is it feasible for staff to have signage up before school starts? Or is that?
I think if this goes through third and final reading on the 15th, I think we would have about a week or so to get signage up, and I think it is possible. I guess one of the questions we would have, and I think the chief probably wondering as well, so what do we do during football games? When people are gonna be parking on that side of the street they're not supposed to be parking in. It's guaranteed, or you're gonna be parking in Breedland, as far as it's gonna go. So, I mean, if we enforce this, there'll be a lot of tickets, a lot of them.
I think if we pass it, we have to enforce it.
Yeah.
I agree. Rich, there you go. Light them up.
Sir, I'm wondering if there could be any education, especially on, the school's part, maybe communicating with them during games and the community, I guess, too. Or maybe finding some alternate parking at the middle school possibly, instead of, the street. So I don't know if there's something.
I mean, this is kind of a limited area. I mean, once they get outside of this, then it's, open season on parking. But I think this there's going to be a couple blocks where you'll have to be careful about which side of the street you're on, and there'll be no parking signs. I mean, people should look at signs. I mean, if you see a no parking sign, you probably shouldn't park in front of it. It's kind of an obvious thing. I think there may be a learning curve, but it'll be pretty fast.
To help accelerate that learning curve, could we put some simple stake in the ground signs? That makes sense
Parade route type ones.
to do that during at least the first
Couple football
few
games.
games.
I mean,
Well, you
signs
already
will
have
be
the
up.
other signs
We'll
up
have
there.
the parking signs up is our goal, to have the no parking in place.
I know at least from a simple standpoint, the school could easily enough make an announcement over the PA
Yeah.
for people that,
I
hey,
think-
if anybody's parked on these streets.
Well,
An
It
email
is-
out to the parents, yeah.
Keep in mind that the parking regulations have changed,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
What is the penalty, the parking penalty? It's $10, right? For illegal parking, is that what it would be? So basically what we're doing is we're telling people, if you want to park there for football games or whatever, and you're willing to pay $10, be our guest.
That's better rates than you'll get in Iowa City.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that's cynical, okay, and I understand that. It doesn't do much for enforcing the safety portion of it, so we'll probably have to take a look at it again, in November, December, and say, hey, how is this working? But I know how people's minds work, and it's like, hey, $10, that's pretty cheap parking. I don't have to walk 8-10 blocks or take a shuttle bus. I'm willing to pay the $10, so. I agree. I mean, we have the ordinance on the books. We should enforce it.
But I think we need to increase the parking ticket fines too.
Well, I was
Because it will not
thinking
curb
that.
behavior, as you're saying, and I agree.
Yeah.
$10 isn't, but well, 25, 50? Is that
The
gonna make
unfortunate
them
thing
think
that happens is the first person that says, $10, I'm willing to pay that, they park there and that they know that they're going to get a citation.
Right.
The other people that pull in behind them, like, well, that guy did it, and they're, well, a citation, I didn't imagine getting one of those. With the Mayor Pro Tem's comment about putting the signs up, the first game, you're gonna have a different audience base than the next game for the out-of-town people. So you'd have to have those signs up all the time, every other week. Well, we have home games, so I don't find the value behind that. I think what the school could potentially do, with the athletic director, Mr. Bodensteiner, is maybe communicate with their athletic director with the notice that, hey, when you come over to our games, the parking is not allowed here. It could go out in a mass email to their district, just so that they're aware that we've changed our parking ordinance. If we were dealing with a new conference, like we will be next year, it'll be a whole new learning curve again when people come into town, but hopefully they see the signs.
Yeah.
But I think the community education, if we can put together a single email that can be sent out to the other school districts, just to be courteous to them, say, hey, things have changed, that might be a good idea.
We'll
Just
monitor
like
it
that.
and see how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of voluntary compliance we have, and if it's not good at all, then we'll talk about it again in the fall and see if there's some things we can do to beef it up a little bit.
But
I'd love to see an emphasis, and just off the top of my head, I'm not sure where this comes from or should come from, but if we could focus on the fact that we're doing this for safety, and if we could all think about how we felt a year ago about now, when we had a horrible tragedy in town because of pedestrian safety issues. And I don't know who can argue with that. If we just focus on, it is a safety issue, that's the main thing.
All right. On the first reading, roll call, Carla.
Schneider.
Yes.
Meyers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Beaufore.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 with one absent, the first reading of ordinance 1109 is approved. Item number 7 is approval of the mayoral appointment. Eric Bagelman is reappointed to the Airport Commission for a term expiring May 1st of 2027. Entertain a motion.
Move the mayoral appointment.
Second.
Motion by Kangas, second by Birgen. Council discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Item number 8, cancellation of the July 25th study session. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve the cancellation of July 25th study session.
Second.
Motion by Beaufort, second by Birgen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Item number 9 is the postponement of the August 1st, 2022 meeting. It's rescheduling to August 8th of 2022. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of the postponement of the August 1st, 2022 meeting being moved to August 8th, 2022.
Second.
Motion by Meyers, second by Kangas. Council discussion, if any.
Can I get some feedback as to why this is moving?
we do not have a quorum. potentially.
Okay. So there's a potential,
Yeah.
too many people missing. Okay.
Yes.
We've got a couple absences, one being the anticipated absence of our city administrator as well for business, so.
Okay.
But yeah,
Fair enough.
anything further?
And then that pushes, well, that's probably a good pattern anyway with Labor Day. Be off the first meeting there, so we'll get back on track in October then.
Yep.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section J is reports from boards and commissions. I got Planning and Zoning Commission minutes from August 5th, November 11th, and December 2nd of 2021. January 6th, February 3rd, April 7th, May 5th, and June 2nd of 2022. And I've got Historic Preservation Commission minutes of December 6th, 2021, January 24th, February 21st, March 28th, April 25th, and May 23rd of 2022. And a Board of Adjustments minutes from February 14th of 2022, all received into the record. Section K, staff updates, Mr. Bronner.
Just have a few brief ones tonight, sir.
Perfect.
Just wanted to let council know that Brian Sullivan, our Public Services Superintendent's last day is August 1st. We're going to be having a party here in Civic Center and City Hall for him with cake and a coffee from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. And Brian's been with the city for 26 years.
All right. Thank you.
Well, I'll just make a quick comment as well. So Brian's not the only one we will be losing. Unfortunately, Isaac will be leaving us as well August 5th, correct? Be his last day. He'll be heading to the Metro and become an employee of Bondurant now. So we certainly are going to miss him and wish him the best going forward. We're not sure what we'll do going forward yet, but I just want to acknowledge his time here and the work and effort he's done progressing that department, and he's certainly going to be missed. So thank you, Isaac. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
I think that's all we have tonight, sir.
All right. Move forward, Section L, City Council comments. Mr. Birgen.
So we had, Darwin came and talked about Heritage Days, and I just wanted to reiterate what a great time we had at Heritage Days. There were so many great things happening, from pancakes to the parade. My wife did the wine and art, the fireworks. There were more things going on than you could attend. I mean, there were just so many great things. I don't think anybody could manage to get to everything that was great. So hats off to all of them for that great event. And as usual, anyone who would like to discuss city council business with me, I will be at the Wooden Foot after the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Beaufort?
I also enjoyed the Heritage Days, a lot of fun stuff for my family, took the grandkids. So it's really wonderful that we have such a great committee for Heritage Days, a very dedicated group. So thank you to them. And also National Night Out, August 9th, of course, and from 4 to 8 p.m. So I hopefully we'll see a lot of the community out.
Thank you. Ms. Meyers?
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the Heritage Days Committee just knocked it out of the park. And I loved seeing the diversity that they brought to the table this year. I thought that was awesome.
Well, the theme was the beat goes on, so. Mr. Schneider, thank you. Mr. Drenkow?
Other than it looks like planning and zoning and historic preservation were cleaning out their filing cabinets. I don't have any other comments. Thank you.
Had to get it in before he's departed. Mr. Shutt?
Just want to say thanks for the invitation to come and take part, and it's really interesting.
It's always fun to watch sausage get made, like
Yeah.
Mr. Drenkow would say. Thank you. We've enjoyed your presence as well. Mr. Kangas?
I have nothing to add that hasn't already been said.
Nothing at all. Well, I will be the cracked record at least. Heritage Days, I felt like we were on a cruise ship because there's always something to do and trying to decide what to be at, when to be at it, and you know, always we're going to have fun doing whatever. So hats off to them as well. We have the Young Eagles out at the airport. Going to be Saturday, August 13th. There's information out there regarding how to get your kids ages 8 to 17 signed up. There's opportunity for free flights from 8 to noon. They've got food. It's a great time. They had an outstanding attendance last year. So take advantage of it. If your kids have done it before, sign up again and do it again. It's a great experience for them. Historic Preservation has an event coming up on this Wednesday evening. Begins at 6 o'clock at the Farmers Exchange Building. It's a historical event as far as storytelling and information sharing about our historical past in the Sturtevant District with the Sturtevant House and the Rock Island Railroad. The program will begin at 6:30. So meet right there at the Farmers Exchange Building. And my final comment is, I'm sure most of you have heard the tragic news of just down the road to the east of us, Mayor Mike Hartner from Fairbank passed away today. So our condolences to the city of Fairbank as they move forward with what they need to do. They've experienced significant loss in their community between their police chief and now their mayor. So keep them in your thoughts as well. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this evening.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Kangas, second by Birgen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.